Hey everybody! My mom was generous enough to send a kit, the Audrino Super Luxury Starter Kit. Comes with all kinds of accessories. This is not the original, but it does the same thing, so just as good. It came with the Mega and it came with the original. Comes with all kinds of different accessories. Like I said, it's a whole kit. There's all kinds of sensors, jumpers, breedboard, remotes, all kinds of stuff. I've been working on the project here. I just want to give you guys an idea of what's been going on here. So I've been studying up and I'm starting to understand how the boards wire up to the relays. So you got two boards with 8 relays. I'm going to have to tell the program that the relays are on these certain numbers, which is probably, let's see, we're going to start at 30 and we're going to go to, where are we at here? Try to get this on camera for you guys. So I have 8 of them hooked up now. So we start at 30 and we end at 37. We're going to start at 38 and we're going to end at 45. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's going to start at 38 and it's going to end at 45 for the second board. So the first board is pins 28 through 37, or excuse me, 30 through 37. And the other ones are going to be from 38 to 45. Alright there, YouTubers, I'm on my way to a store called Restore. It is part of Habitat for Humanity. They sell reusable or used building materials and things like that. It's kind of like a thrift store. They also have furniture and some other things of those nature. So that's where I'm going to get some of my outlets and hopefully the boxes for my DIY Christmas light show project. Alright, we're almost there. See it right there off to the right. We're slowly approaching. There it is. Restore. Habitat for Humanity. It's a treasure trove of things in here. Carpets, windows, all types of lights. Everything you can name. They have a lot of stuff in here. It's a DIY person's heaven. Looking for one of these blue boxes. I seen a gentleman on another video do one, and unfortunately I'm not finding the box that he used where he can fit three sets of outlets. And I've already got a couple of my outlets. 4 outlets, excuse me, 4 outlets, and some wire. Apparently they sell that by the weight. I was starting to get discouraged. I was not able to find a 4 plate one like this, or a box for that matter. Then I walked down here and around the corner. Lo and behold. Kind of nice, actually. I think that should work. Yep, that'll work. That's perfect. So, we're talking times 2 is 16. Figure this out. Alright, well, about $35. Well, excuse me, not $35. About $20 later. I've got the start of some of my project and a couple other little things here and there. So thank you, Restore, for letting me film. I did talk to the manager to get approval. So Alright, once again, Restore. Thank you very much for letting me tape some videos in your store. So part of my finds at the Restore, I managed to get these two boxes. These boxes are pretty cool actually. If you can see, this is kind of like a soft material, and you can push the wires through. You can push the wires through, and it makes it a little bit easier for the access. So each box will hold 4 outlets, which is 8 total, because I'm going to break the one side, the little piece there that makes it 2 different outlets, or excuse me, 1 outlet. It's going to make it 2 individual outlets, so 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 for one, and then I have to get my outlets for this one. So yeah, it's starting to come together. I'll take another video here shortly when I get to the point where I'm doing the high voltage wiring. The other thing I did get was the high voltage wire. I got that here. I think this should be enough. If not, I can go and get more. They have plenty of wire there at the Restore. They sell it by the weight. The other thing I learned, the other thing I learned was the audrino has to have its own power source, and apparently these have to have a power source also, and it's got to be 5 volts. So it's just like your cell phone charger, 5 volts. So I managed to find this adapter here. It went to an item that I no longer use. I kept the power cord, but it does have a 5 volt output. It also has a 12 volt output. I probably will not be using that, but I will locate which wires are the 5 volt. The amperage, it's got plenty of amps. 2 amps is plenty to run the Audrino. And yeah. So what I have going on here is I've put these on some wood, at least for now. I may just end up mounting it on there. I have my relays numbered, so I know which ones are which. Just a quick bus bar is just the idea I came up with. This is my 5 and 12 volt power supply. So everything's wired to the Audrino. I need to run power lines. I've pulled the jumpers off of the boards here, the relay boards. So I pulled the jumpers off, and I'm going to power those from here. And I've had an idea. I have these plugs like this, and it looks like my male to female jumpers are going to work just fine for that. So I can plug the jumpers into these, the female end onto the male on the relays, and then I can plug the male in into this one here, and then I'll have this one running off of the power source here. Well, it's backwards, but anyway, so that's what I'm doing here. Alright, so I've loaded the Audrino software onto the computer. Before I did the first relay test, and this is the code that I used. This is the coding that I used. You have to define each relay and what pin. So relay 2 would be that one, and so on and so forth. I've reconfigured since then, and I've added on more relays. So obviously I'm going to have to add to this code just to do the test. So, you know, I have 24 now. So I'm going to have to add, 1 through 24, and then I'm going to have to, change each one, relay 1 is 30, relay 2, and so on and so forth, all the way down. And then I'm going to have to go through here, and I'm going to have to do the same thing. And then I'm going to have to go down here and do the same thing back and forth. So just so you know, when you're writing code for Arduino, it is not easy. It does take time. There is programs that can help you do this a little bit faster, which I am going to use, but I'd like to learn this first. So that's just a little overview of the Arduino software. I got it. Now if I could remember or figure out how to do this with both relays without powering it from the Arduino. I thought I had it here, but apparently I don't. But there's the test sequence I have. Right now it's going through the one from the other one. There we go. Looks like we're making another trip to our local restore. I've completely run out of wire, at least one color of it, and I need some more boxes because I've decided that I'm going to make some more plugs. This is all spur of the moment. Realize that I don't have enough channels. I have 24 channels. I have still a couple things to light up, and I'm down to one channel left. Heading into our Fox Valley restore here. We'll pick up a couple more supplies. There's some wire and some more boxes. Dedicated power source from this box. Let's see here. This right here is the negative side, and that goes to the Arduino on the ground. Then the positive side this one goes to VCC, which is the positive. Okay, so here's some of the changes I made. I actually drilled some holes in the side here, and I'm gonna run these two, I guess, what do they call these? Equipment ground bar kit. I don't know, I purchased these thinking I might use them, and I figured, you know what, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and use them. It makes it a little bit easier for me to locate, what is the ground and what is the positive, and I might be able to add a couple more items in later, so I figured I'd just go ahead and add these on here. And I drilled some holes in the side so I could run the wires through instead of over and under, and it was getting really ugly. I've opted to take some of these connectors out, and I'm just going to use the wire nuts. Not all of them, just a couple of them, and making a little bit cleaner runs and stuff like that on the inside here. I still have to take care of the extra ground on these, so that's coming up here soon. I did some testing just to make sure that everything was still working properly. Fortunately, having a little problem with the Arduino test program, when I added in the extra relays, it keeps giving me some type of error message. So I've been trying to research that and trying to figure out where I've gone wrong with that. So that's my update for now. We're gonna continue working at it. It's I believe today is November 5th. It is the day of daylight savings time change there. So everybody thinks they got an extra hour of sleep, and I still woke up at the same time. So, all right, just thought I'd share an update, and we'll get back to it. Now I have to make a bunch of extension cords. My poor lighted deer has seen so many years the lights were tattered and broken, so I had to replace those. He's got about 400 lights on him now. While I was out shopping, I bought a couple extra effects to go to the yard. I also made color-changing Christmas trees, 2 large and 1 small, out of upside-down tomato baskets for the garden. And here's me on the roof hanging the first round of lights. The first phase of lighting was the white lights around the edge of the gutters. The 2 pine trees in front of the house I lit with white and multicolored lights. The bush in the front I lit with white, blue, green, and red lights. As you'll see in the next clip, there's multiple layers of colors.